Choosing a tent can feel like a simple decision, but it's one of the most consequential choices you'll make for any outdoor trip. Let me explain. The fundamental difference between a backpacking tent and a camping tent isn't just a few pounds of fabric, it's a completely different philosophy of design driven by two opposing goals: ultimate portability versus maximum comfort. Understanding this core distinction is the key to everything else.
Purpose and design. A backpacking tent is designed to be carried, and a camping tent is designed to be lived in. That single difference dictates every single design choice that follows. A backpacking tent is a marvel of engineering, focused on a single, non-negotiable priority: minimizing weight and packed size. Its entire reason for being is to disappear into your pack, to be so unnoticeable on your back that you can hike for miles and miles without feeling penalized by your shelter. Think of it as a minimalist, high-performance tool. The designers assume you'll spend most of your time outside the tent, hiking, climbing, exploring, and will only use it for sleeping and sheltering from bad weather. As a result, space is a luxury, not a necessity. A camping tent, on the other hand, operates on the assumption that you will drive your car directly to your campsite. With a vehicle doing all the heavy lifting, weight becomes a secondary concern. The primary goal shifts from portability to livability. A camping tent is less of a temporary shelter and more of a portable cabin, a home base for your outdoor activities. Designers prioritize headroom, floor space, and creature comforts. They envision you spending significant time inside, changing clothes, playing cards on a rainy day, or organizing gear for a family. Weight and packability. This is the most obvious and defining difference between the two types. For a backpacker, every single ounce matters. When you're carrying your entire life on your back for days at a time, the difference between a 3-pound tent and an 8-pound tent is monumental. A quality one-person backpacking tent can weigh as little as 2 pounds, and a 2-person model often lands in the 3 to 5-pound range. To achieve this, manufacturers use highly advanced, lightweight materials and minimalist pole structures. When packed, these tents compress down to the size of a large water bottle or a small loaf of bread, fitting easily inside your backpack alongside your other gear. Camping tents are on a completely different scale, since they're designed to be moved from your garage to your car trunk to the picnic table at your campsite. Their weight is almost an afterthought. A comfortable 4-person camping tent can easily weigh 15 to 20 pounds, and larger family models can push 30 pounds or more. They come packed in large, often cumbersome duffel-style bags that you wouldn't dream of strapping to a backpack. The sheer mass comes from using heavier, more affordable fabrics, thicker and more robust poles, and a host of extra features like windows, gear lofts, and oversized zippers. The portability factor is essentially zero. Its mobility is entirely dependent on a vehicle. You can technically use a backpacking tent for car camping, but it often feels needlessly cramped.
Size and capacity. When a tent company lists a person capacity, you need to take it with a grain of salt, especially when comparing these two categories. A 2-person backpacking tent generally means it can fit 2 standard-sized sleeping pads side by side with almost no room to spare. It's intimate. It's functional for sleeping, but not for much else. The peak height is usually low, meaning you'll likely be sitting up or crouching, not standing. The goal is to provide just enough shelter to sleep, not to hang out. Many experienced backpackers will even choose a 2-person tent for solo trips just to have a bit of extra room for gear and comfort. A 2-person camping tent, however, is a different world. It will often have enough floor space for a queen-sized air mattress and plenty of room left over for duffel bags and moving around. The most significant difference is the peak height. Many camping tents are designed to allow an average-sized adult to stand up straight inside, which makes simple tasks like changing clothes infinitely more comfortable. As you move up to 4-person or 6-person camping tents, you enter the realm of multi-room mansions with dividers for privacy and enough space to set up chairs and a small table inside if the weather turns foul.
Durability and weather resistance. You might assume that the heavier camping tent is automatically more durable, but the reality is more nuanced. It's a matter of different types of toughness. Camping tents are indeed built to be robust in a conventional sense. They use thick polyester fabrics and heavy-duty waterproof coatings on the floor to withstand the abrasion of being pitched on gravel pads, sticks, and whatever else is at a drive-in campsite. Their frames, often made of thick fiberglass or steel, are designed more for supporting a large structure than for flexing in high winds. They are durable in the face of long-term use and abuse from kids and gear being thrown around. Backpacking tents, by contrast, achieve durability through advanced material science. They use high-tech fabrics like ripstop nylon or polyester with silicone and polyurethane coatings, sil nylon or sil poly, which have an incredible strength-to-weight ratio. They are surprisingly resistant to tearing and can handle significant wind and rain when pitched correctly. The pole systems, usually made from high-grade aluminum, are engineered to flex and bend under heavy wind loads, absorbing energy rather than breaking.
Setup complexity. Here, again, the design philosophy dictates the experience. After a long 10-mile day on the trail, the last thing a tired backpacker wants is a complicated puzzle. Backpacking tents are therefore designed for swift and intuitive assembly. Many are freestanding, meaning they hold their shape with just the poles and can be picked up and moved before being staked down. They often feature color-coded poles and clips and a simple design that one person can easily set up in 5 to 10 minutes, even in the dark or in bad weather. Efficiency is paramount. Setting up a large family camping tent can be more of an event. Because they don't need to be simple enough for one exhausted person to pitch, their designs can be more complex to achieve their cavernous interiors. It often requires 2 people and can involve feeding long, heavy poles through extensive fabric sleeves, attaching numerous clips, and then rustling a massive rainfly over the top. The process can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Materials and cost. Let's talk about what these tents are actually made of, because that's where the money goes. The difference in materials is directly tied to the weight versus cost equation. Camping tents are generally built from thick, heavy, and relatively inexpensive polyester fabrics. The floors are often a rugged bathtub style, made of a coated polyethylene that feels like a heavy-duty tarp. Backpacking tents are a completely different story. They are a showcase for material science innovation. The fabrics are usually high-tenacity ripstop nylon or polyester, chosen for their exceptional strength relative to their weight. These are often treated with silicone and polyurethane coatings to make them waterproof without adding significant bulk. Which one is for you? So, how do you decide? It's not about which tent is better, but which one is right for your adventure. It comes down to a simple question: how are you getting to your campsite? If your answer involves a car and you plan on setting up a base camp for a weekend of relaxation, fishing, or short day hikes from a central point, get the camping tent. Don't subject yourself to the cramped quarters of a backpacking tent if you don't have to. Enjoy the standing room height, the generous floor space, and the comfort of a portable palace. It will make your trip more enjoyable, especially if you're with family, friends, or just like to have your space. But if your adventure involves carrying everything you need on your back, whether it's for an overnight trip or a month-long thru hike, the backpacking tent is not just an option, it's a necessity. The weight savings are paramount. Every ounce shed from your pack is energy saved, allowing you to hike further, feel better, and enjoy the journey more. It's a specialized piece of gear built for a specific purpose: to provide reliable, life-sustaining shelter in a package so light and compact, you'll barely notice it's there.